countdown.
Congratulations! This live broadcast is specially brought to you by Academy YouTuber Malaysia, an initiative by Didik Malaysia and Kelab Guru Malaysia. Please pay attention. The live broadcast will begin shortly. The link to the certificate of attendance will be provided at the end of the session. Please make sure it is filled within the stipulated time. Thank you.
Hi there everyone. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. Welcome to Pusat Tuisyen Academy YouTuber, a joint venture with Didik Malaysia and Kelab Guru Malaysia. #bermula percuma selamanya percuma. So shall we begin our session with the recitation of Kitab Al-Fatihah, and for the non-Muslim, please recite your prayers according to your religion. Okay, so how is everyone doing today? My prayer that everyone is in the best of health and eager to start with today's class. I am Teacher Zana, your moderator, and together with me in the Conti is our control host, okay, Teacher Hafsa Ayu. She is very important because she is to ensure the smooth running of our class. And our observer, a new face in our Conti, Teacher Noon. Welcome, Teacher Noon. Okay, and of course, our most important of the day is our presenter, Madam Rosmaya from SMJK Yuha Kajang. Okay, for the record, students, we are now live on Madam Rosmaya channel. So as a sign of support to Madam Rosmaya for her hard work in preparing today's lesson, please subscribe her channel. And of course, not forgetting ours too. Channel Cikgu Zana, Channel Cikgu Ayu, and Channel Cikgu Noon. Okay. And as usual, the lesson will last approximately for 1 hour. And please follow the class up until the end. And give your full cooperation in making this class a lively one. Please take note that the certificate link will be given at the end of this session. Don't forget to claim your credit for today's live class. Collect the credits to redeem the attractive prizes in store. Okay, the link to claim the credit and the presenter username will also be given at the end of the session. However, students, please be alert because the 1-letter and 4-digit code will be announced one at a time during the live class. So get ready with your pen and paper. Okay, I would also like to remind students to use appropriate language and also use appropriate profile picture. If possible, please use your own picture, okay, so that we know you. If you wish to post comments on the chat box, okay, I'm pretty sure all the students here are excellent students who will uphold a positive classroom environment. Okay, students, stay focused, and if you have any questions, please write on the chat box and Madam Rosmaya will try to provide you with the answers. So before I pass over to Madam Rosmaya, please listen carefully. The first code for today is A3. The letter A and the number 3. Okay, it's tuned by Madam Rosmaya. So right then, without further ado, shall we welcome Madam Rosmaya? Yes, Madam Rosmaya.
Okay. Hi everyone. Okay, hi everyone. Thank you to our moderator, Cikgu Zana. Okay, I'm Madam Rosmaya from physics teacher at SMJK Yuha Kajang Selangor. Okay, so before we start, okay, I would like to introduce our team. Okay, our PRIU team in Academy YouTuber. Okay, we have here physics. Our team consists of physics, okay, maths, biology, chemistry, and perakaunan dan ekonomi. Yeah. Okay, for physics team, we have here Okay, teacher Hafsah Ayu. Okay, where are you? Down me. Okay, teacher Hafsah Ayu. Okay, we also have teacher Non. Okay, down below the screen. Okay, okay, teacher Non, our member also in physics. Okay, physics team. And besides that, we have teacher Su and teacher Suhaya. Okay, so in maths team, we have lead by teacher Im, okay, but together with us, we have teacher Zanaria, okay, on top of me, okay, as our moderator for today. Okay. Then we have biology team lead by Cikgu Faiza, okay, and chemistry team lead by Cikgu Shahnon. And perakaunan and economy team lead by Madam Fizi. Okay. Okay, so what topic we are going to discuss for today? Okay, so the topic is mutual induction, still in the main topic, electromagnetic induction. Okay, so our objective for today, at the end of the discussion, you all should be able to explain the phenomenon of mutual induction and define mutual inductance. Okay, and also derive an expression for the mutual inductance between two coaxial solenoids and two coaxial coils. Okay. Okay, so what is mutual induction? Okay, so mutual induction is the phenomenon in which an EMF is induced in a conductor when the current in the neighboring conductor change. Okay, so we are going to discuss using this diagram, okay, where the solenoid arranged to next to each other, okay, with another solenoid, and the first one is a complete circuit to the cell here, and the resistor and the switch, and the other solenoid is connected to the galvanometer to detect the current, whether it is induced in this circuit or not. Okay. So we are going to discuss divide the topics into three parts. Not the topic, the discussion here. Okay, into three parts. The first one, what happened when the switch is on for a longer time of period. Secondly, when the switch is on. Okay, at the moment the switch is on, and also at the moment when the switch is off. Okay. Okay, so when the switch is on for a longer time of period, so what happened? Okay, refer to this circuit. Okay, so when for a longer time of period, so the current becomes steady. Okay, the current becomes steady. So using the Fleming's using the grip rule, okay, we can determine the direction of the B in the first solenoid. Okay. So the forefinger shows the direction of current, which is downward. Refer to the terminal positive of the battery here. So when it goes down around the solenoid here, so the current for in the solenoid direction is downward. So shown by the four fingers here. And lastly, refer to the thumb. Okay, so the thumb shows direction to the right. To the right. So this is the B for the solenoid, for this solenoid. So we call this circuit as a primary circuit. Okay, so for a longer time of period, because of steady current, there will be no current or no EMF induced in the next circuit. Okay, because the B is constant. From the Faraday's law, okay, we have discussed before, EMF will be induced if there is a change in magnetic flux linkage. So in this case, magnetic flux linkage from the B here, B is constant, so therefore there is no change in the magnetic flux linkage. So the A cross-sectional area of the solenoid is constant and also constant. So the B is constant also. So therefore there is no change in magnetic flux linkage. So therefore from Faraday's law, no MF is induced in this circuit. We call this as secondary circuit. Okay, so what happened at the moment the switch is on? So when the switch is on, once the switch is on, okay, the current suddenly rise. Okay, from 0, then it rise to certain value, to its maximum value. So at the moment it's switched on, okay, so the current flow here, just like this now, just now, Okay, the current increasing, right? Just now I see already. So the direction of B is the same for the first solenoid. So for the second solenoid, okay, what happened when current increasing? Okay, what does this mean? The B also increasing. So refer to the magnetic flux linkage. Okay, so if there is a change in the B, there is also change in the magnetic flux linkage. The changing is in what way? It's increasing. The B increasing. So when there is a change in the magnetic flux linkage, so again from Faraday's law, EMF will be induced in the second solenoid here, secondary circuit. Okay, so now to oppose the changes, what is the B direction should be? The B induced here should be. Okay, so to oppose these changes, because the B increasing, so the resultant of the two Bs or magnetic field in such a way that the resultant must be decreasing, because B increasing, right? So to oppose the changes, so the resultant B for both must be decreased. Okay. So using Lenz's law, okay, we use Lenz's law. So the B induced must be in opposite direction to oppose these changes. Okay, so if the B induced is to the left, so using grip rule, so the direction of current is upward. So therefore, the B induced first. The B induced, because we determine the B induced first. So position your hand in such a way that your thumb shows to the left. So therefore, the other fingers shows direction of current. So direction of current is upward. Okay, direction of current is upward. Okay, so this is what happened at the moment the switch is on. Okay, we call this as mutual induction. It's the phenomenon, right? Mutual induction is the phenomenon. So they call all this happen is we call as a mutual induction. Okay, so same happen when at the moment the switch is off. Okay, next we discuss what happened when the switch is off. So when the switch is off, okay, so what happened? From the current becomes steady just now for a longer time of period, then suddenly we switch off. So what happened? The current suddenly dropped to zero. So there is a changes in current. There is a changes in current. So the direction of current is this way. So the changes is a current decreasing. Direction of B still the same as this now. Okay, the current decreasing because suddenly dropped to zero. Okay, so therefore the B here, the B here decreasing because the current decreasing. So the B here decreasing from the relationship B equals to mu naught Ni. B from the solenoid, formula of the solenoid. So B equals to mu naught Ni. So if there is changes in B, so therefore there is also change in magnetic flux linkage. And again, from Faraday's Lenz's law, this means that EMF will be induced in the secondary coil here, secondary circuit here. Okay, so next, how the direction of B induced should be so that the resultant, okay, how the resultant should be, the B resultant when combine these two. So when the B decreasing, the induced EMF oppose this decrease, oppose the decrease in the B node. Okay? So to oppose these changes, the B resultant must be increased because this B node is decreasing right from here. So the resultant will be increased, to oppose the changes. So B must be increased. Okay. So if the B increase, the direction of the B induced here must be in opposite direction. So therefore we got the resultant increase because in same direction. So the B resultant increase to oppose these changes, B decreasing. Okay, then after we got the direction of the B induced, so we use the grip rule. Okay, grip rule. So B induced is to the right. So your thumb position this way to the right. So therefore the other fingers shows direction of current, which is downward. Okay. Okay, so this is how we determine the direction of current in the secondary coil. Okay, so next. Okay, besides we use the method just now for changing the magnetic flux linkage using two methods by switching off and switching on. We also can change the magnetic flux linkage, okay, by using the variable resistance here, okay, by using the rheostat or rheostat. Okay, so we change the resistance here. We also change the current. Okay, if we change the current, so therefore there is a changes in B, and from the magnetic flux linkage equals to mu naught NBA, so the magnetic flux linkage also changes, and therefore EMF will be induced in this circuit, secondary circuit. Okay. So this is called primary coil, this is called secondary coil. So the process, okay, I repeat the process. Okay, a current I flows through solenoid P. Okay, so a magnetic field B is produced here. Next, the field is linked with the solenoid Q. Okay, the magnetic field here linked with the solenoid Q. So we call okay, so if there is a field link with solenoid coil Q, so if the P changes, so by varying the resistance, okay, here in the rheostat, so the resistance of the rheostat is varied. So therefore, the current I in solenoid P also changes from the B equals to mu naught N I. So the B also changes. So therefore, the magnetic flux linked with the coil Q changes. And finally, EMF is induced in Q, okay, the secondary coil. Okay, so we go to the next slide. Okay. Okay, besides we use rheostat, we can also use AC power supply, okay, AC current, so that there is a change in magnetic flux linkage with the coil, okay. So we can use alternate current. But for using AC current, what happen? The changes will be forever as long as you switch on the circuit. They switch on. So the changes will be forever like this. So EMF will be induced in the other secondary solenoid here, secondary circuit here. And keep on changing direction because AC current also induced here in the secondary coil. Okay, so what you've learned in Form 4, Form 5 before about transformer is the working of the transformer, okay, based on what we discussed today. It follow the principle of mutual induction for what we discussed just now. So there are many types of transformer. Okay, it can be by like just now we put side by side the solenoid. In this case, we put on top of another, or you can wind it around each other like this. Okay, so mutual induction is the basic operating principle of the transformer. Also in motors, generators, and any other electrical component that interacts with other magnetic field. Okay. So therefore, we can also define mutual induction as the current flowing in one coil that induces a voltage in an adjacent coil. Okay, this is another definition we can give to mutual induction. Okay, so next, we are going to derive the formula. Okay, before we go to derivation of the formula, okay, I want to test you all on this one. You can write there in the chat box. Okay, so when an electric current is passed through a coil of wire, so what phenomenon occurs? Okay, can you write there in the chat box? Okay, what we call this phenomenon? Remember, the electric current passed through a coil of wire. You've learned this before in the secondary school, okay? Not just Form 4, Form 5. I think primary school you've learned this. Okay, primary school. So what we call this? Electric current pass through a coil of wire. What phenomenon occurs? Okay. Okay, student, try to answer. Do you know? I give you a clue. This one. I give you a clue. So look at the diagram, the animation given here. Have you done this as simple experiment before? Okay, I think it's one of your experiment done or maybe demonstrated by your teacher. Okay, what do you call this phenomenon? Okay, it might come out in the exam, in the essay question especially. Okay, so what's your answer? Can try there.
Yes, students, let's try. Doesn't matter if you are wrong. Okay, at least it helps you to recall back. Okay, electromagnetic by
electromagnetic. Okay, Fong Chun Chun, electromagnetic. Okay, so we didn't call it electromagnetic, but we call it electromagnetism. Okay, electromagnetism. Okay, this one is from a primary school. Okay, you've learned this about electromagnetism. Okay, the phenomenon we call electromagnetism. Okay, now what about this one? When a coil of wire cuts through the magnetic lines of flux. Okay, so what we call this phenomenon? Okay, anyone?
Yes,
try
this?
When a coil of wire cuts through magnetic lines of flux, what phenomenon occurs? What the name given? Can try there, right? In the chat box. Okay, I give you one clue. This one, you've done this also, remember? Okay, what the phenomenon occurs here? I give you another clue. We've just learned this last week. Last week.
Yes, I remember, although I'm not a physics teacher. Okay, what is it, class?
What's the phenomenon occur here? Can try. It's okay if you make mistake.
Yeah, let's try. We are waiting. Okay, this one.
Okay, induction. Okay, so the more specific is by writing at electromagnetic induction. Okay, because induction there are two types of induction. So for Form 6 level, you must write.
Electromagnetic answer correctly.
Okay, so there are two types of induction: mutual induction and electromagnetic induction, right? So and then another one is self-induction. So generally this one is electromagnetic induction because it doesn't specify what types. Generally we can say electromagnetic induction. Okay, now the next one. Okay, what we call this? This is what we learn, we discussed today. We call as mutual induction. Okay. Okay, so before we go for derivation of mutual inductance, maybe we can announce the second code, right?
Okay, right. The second code is digit 7, number 7. Okay, number 7.
Okay, 7.
Okay, over to you.
Okay, so now we are going to derive a formula for mutual inductance. Okay, we start with the Faraday's law. Okay, Faraday's law. From Faraday's law and Lenz's law, EMF induced is equals to negative d phi by dt. Okay, so from here we know that E is directly proportional to the change in magnetic flux, rate of change in magnetic flux, d phi by dt here. And we know also from just now, what we discussed just now, the magnetic flux linkage also directly proportional to the current flow. Okay, current flow. So therefore, we know that from B equals to mu naught Ni, and then magnetic flux phi equals to NBA. Okay, so if there is the changes in B, there is also changes in I. So that means the magnetic flux here directly proportional to I. Mu naught is constant, N is constant, the N number of turns also constant, A cross-sectional area also constant. So only leaving B and I. So therefore, if B directly proportional to phi, so pi also directly proportional to I. Okay, so now we can write as E, okay, directly proportional to di by dt. Okay, so from here, When you put equal using the variation method you've learned in Form 4, Form 5, remember? So when you put equal sign, okay, so there must be a constant, right? Must be written together. So M di by dt. So if negative here, we just follow negative. EMF induced is equals to the negative M di by dt. So the M here is called mutual inductance. The unit is Henry, same as the self-inductance. Okay, unit the same. Unit is the same, Henry. Okay, so we have one equation already. Okay, so from here we can derive, we can define M. So what is mutual induction? Mutual inductance. We can derive M. So we rearrange the equation. M equals to negative M, negative E per di by dt. Okay, arrange this equation. So we can define mutual inductance as the ratio of EMF induced in the secondary coil per or to rate of change of current in the primary coil. Okay. Next, this definition of mutual inductance, you can write like this. Okay, next, we put this one side. So we derive another formula. Further derivation, we do further derivation. Using this one, now we combine these two. Okay, because EMF induced, here also EMF induced, right? So we can combine these two equations and we can cancel the dt. So we have d phi equals to m di. Okay, so we use integration, take integral both sides. So here means nothing means 1 and m is a constant. Okay, m is a constant. So we get phi equals to mi. So this is another formula for mutual inductance. Okay, so now we have two formulas already. Okay, so we put these two formulas. Okay, memorize this. Okay, next. Okay, the next expression for mutual inductance. Okay, we still got time. Okay. So refer to this this situation. Now the other situation where the coil is wrapped around a solenoid. Okay, coil wrapped around the solenoid. So refer, we are going to use this diagram for the next expression for mutual inductance. Okay, we are going to discuss two cases. So different situation will give you different mutual inductance. Okay. So for your level, Form 6 level, we will discuss two situations. Okay, so one of the situation is this one, where the coil is wrapped around a solenoid. Okay, so for a solenoid, the B is given by mu naught Ni. N is number of turns per length. Okay, I is current, mu naught, then B is magnetic field of the solenoid. And because current flow through the solenoid, so that's why we use B of the solenoid. So outside the solenoid, okay, because the coil here is wrapped around the solenoid here, so there is no magnetic field outside the solenoid. And the field inside is directed parallel to the solenoid axis. Okay, so the N here is N per L. Okay, we substitute N, NP, number of turns of the solenoid per L. Okay, now phi magnetic flux linkage is NBA. From previous lesson, this formula for the magnetic flux linkage. So for this one will be NS BPA, area of the coil here. Okay, and S because this is magnetic flux link with the coil, so that's why N must use NS. NS. Okay, B comes from the solenoid. So we substitute into the equation here, and also phi equals to Mi just now, this one. Okay, so we combine both, so we get Mi equals to NSBPA. Okay, so now we substitute B into here. So we get the equation. And also we can cancel out I. Okay, both sides got I, right? So we get M equals to mu naught NS and PA per L, P, length of the solenoid. Okay, So this is one formula. And the A here is equals to pi RP, area of the solenoid, because M is independent of the radius RS here, R for the secondary. Okay, so we use R of the solenoid. Okay, so the solenoid's magnetic field is confined to its interior. So therefore, we can use pi R, the radius here, we use radius of the coil. Okay, so done for the this equation for derivation.
Can we take a break, Madam Rosmaya?
A little bit more after this.
Because already 5:30. Okay.
Okay, so mu naught NS NPA per LP. So we can also write the equation here in this form, where we use the N number of turns per length, substitute into here. So we get this two, same thing actually, only we use this to represent the N here and S. Okay, so now we got these 4 formulas. So we can take a break now.
Okay, shall we take a break for the advertisement? Okay, stay tuned, students. Over to you, Cikgu Hafsah.
Berita baik untuk semua. Kini Akademi YouTuber memperkenalkan sistem mata gancaran kredit AYU untuk dikumpul. Jom ikuti kelas tuition live AYU untuk mengumpul kredit AYU dan berpeluang menebus hadiah-hadiah yang menarik. Hadiah bernilai lebih RM10,000 disediakan secara percuma untuk pelajar seluruh Malaysia. Apa tunggu lagi? Tebus gancaran hebat ini sekarang. Layari www.academyyoutuber.com untuk maklumat lanjut.
Okay, we are back. Right, before Madam Rosmaya continue, I would like to announce the second last digit code, which is also number 7. Okay, number 7, students. Okay, right. Okay, Madam Rosmaya, over to you.
Okay. So we continue with the derivation of the formula, and we've done with the 4 formulas already. The 4 formulas already. So from this equation, okay, it means that the mutual inductance depends on number of turns, the N here, cross-sectional area A, and also the relative permeability, mu naught. If we have a soft iron core inserted, so we can write here as mu naught mu R. Mu naught mu R. So if it's just air, we can use mu naught. Okay. So we put this one side. Okay. We have already this 4 for this case. Now we are going to discuss another case. Okay, derivation of the mutual inductions where the 2 flat coil are arranged coaxially. Just now solenoid and the primary coil are arranged coaxially. So next is the coil, 2 flat coil arranged coaxially like this. So let's say this is one solenoid with radius RP. This is a primary coil because it is connected to the power supply here. And another one is the coil also, okay, because they are arranged coaxially, right? So arranged like this. So this coil, the secondary coil here is inside the primary coil. So we connect to the galvanometer here to detect the current induced in the coil, in this coil. Okay, so what is the mutual inductions? Mutual inductance. Mutual inductance is the physical quantity. Mutual induction is the phenomenon. The phenomenon. So we are going to derive the mutual inductance. Okay, so we start. Okay, let's say this coil, and we have number of turns N. We call, because this is primary coil, so we call it NP. And the secondary coil has NS, number of turns N. And the radius of primary coil is RP, and radius of the secondary coil is RS. Okay, so we are going to derive the mutual inductance. Okay, we start with the B magnetic field by the coil. So can you remember or not the B for the coil? For solenoid is mu naught Ni. So what about the magnetic field by the coil? From the previous discussion, we've done this already. So the B is given by mu naught Np. P because from the coil here, B from the coil, the current flow here. So the B is from the primary coil. So Np times the current divided by 2R. So this is the B from the coil. I repeat again, if a solenoid, we use B equals to mu naught Ni, right? For the coil, we use B equals to mu naught Npi per 2R. Okay, so for secondary coil, the phi is given by NBA. The N must be N of the secondary coil and S. So B comes from the primary coil, so BP. And area is area of the secondary coil. And then we substitute phi magnetic flux linkage equals to Mi here. Okay, so we equate to this. Okay, next, this B we substitute into here. Okay, so cancel out the I and we get mutual inductance for this situation where the two flex coils are arranged coaxially. So we get this formula. Okay. Okay, and the A here you can use pi r squared. Pi r squared, and the R is the radius of the secondary coil, Rs. Okay, radius of the secondary coil. Okay, now we have how many? The fifth equation, expression for today. So the last one. So all these five formula must be memorized. Remember, formula is not given in the exam. So you need to memorize this formula. Okay, so now it's time to do question. Okay, it's time to do question. Okay, refer to the question here, and this question actually given to in the description part. In the description below in my this video. Okay, you can get the question from there. Okay, so two circular cells. We read together first. The two circular cells like this. Coil, actually coil, typing error here, actually coil. Okay, it's not cell. So two circular coil can be arranged in any of three following situations, okay? Given in the A, B, C. So their mutual inductance will be maximum in which arrangement? What do you think? Mutual inductance will be maximum in which arrangement? In A or in B or in C? Or is it the same in all conditions? Okay, anyone can write there in the chat box.
Okay, give you answer in the chat box, students. Okay, this is what you have learned just now. Okay, just to recall back.
Okay, A, B, C. What do you think? Refer to the magnetic flux.
Okay,
We have.
There's an answer there by Gao Ming Chai.
Okay, Gao Ming Chai.
Chun Fong also A.
Chun Fong also A. So we wait for a while. Maybe the rest want to. The rest of you want to try. Can write there in the chat box. Anyone?
Okay.
No more. Okay, so very good. Very good. The answer is A.
Well done.
Okay. So why the answer is A? Why you say that the answer is A? We have also another answer. Wala mati. A. So correct. A. Okay. So from phi equals to Mi, phi is magnetic flux linkage. M is mutual inductance. So and phi is NBA, right? Phi is NBA. So if if mutual inductance is directly proportional to phi, okay. So magnetic flux linkage in coil A is maximum because they have same axis. So it depends on magnetic flux, magnetic flux linkage. So for both for A is maximum because they have same axis. So magnetic flux equals to NBA. So the B can be in from the formula we derived before. Can remember or not? NBA cos theta, right? And BA cos theta. So the angle here is 0 because they are parallel. Okay, the B and the area here are parallel. Area must be normal, right? Normal to the surface. So they are parallel with each other. So therefore cos theta will give you cos 0 and will give you 1. So the value here is the maximum. Whereas for the B and C, they are perpendicular. Okay, they are perpendicular to each other. So cos 90 will give you 0, right? So the magnetic flux in B and C actually the minimum, 0. Okay, so very good.
Yeah, very good.
So we go to the next question. Okay, two coils P and Q are placed in a circuit that a current changes by 3 ampere in coil P and magnetic flux changes of 1.2 Weber. Okay, occurs in A. Okay, occurs in A. So the value of mutual inductance of the coil is, okay, so try to answer using the 5 formula. Which one of the formula to be used here? Okay, depends on what given here. So what's your answer? This is very simple. So it's just a direct question only. Okay, current 3 ampere and the magnetic flux changes in 1.2 Weber. Okay. So current changes 3A, magnetic flux is 1.2 Weber. So what's your answer?
Okay, Min Chai answer B, Ben answer B, Yong answer B.
Okay, so this means that you remember the equation, very well.
Mati also B.
Okay, so correct,
Okay. Wow.
The answer is B.
Wow,
Okay.
all got correct. Well done.
Okay, so using the formula phi equals to mi. Okay, so if even though it stays here changes, you still can use d phi di, m di. So the changes d phi is 1.2 Weber and the current 3, so you get 0.4 Henry. Okay, good. Okay, next we go to the harder question now. Okay. So in a transformer, coefficient of mutual inductance between primary and secondary coil is 0.2 Henry. So when current changes by 5 ampere second in the primary coil, so then the induced EMF in the secondary coil will be, okay, this time we are going to find the induced EMF. Okay, induced EMF. So what's your answer? Okay, from the 5 formulas just now, okay, which formula to be used this time? The induced EMF. You are given mutual inductance and the current change. Okay, what's your answer?
I'm still calculating. Okay, Min Chai has answered B.
Okay, who else want to try? Can write there in the chat box.
Yeah, Walamati answered B.
Okay, B. So let's check the answer.
Sin Yu also B.
Okay, so correct. The answer is B. Okay, so this also means you can memorize the equation. Okay, so the EMF induced is given by m di by dt. We use this formula. So you substitute the mutual inductance given 0.2 Henry and the current change ampere per second here. So di by dt is ampere per second. We refer to the unit of each physical quantity here, current and time. So you substitute 5 into the equation here. So we get 1 volt. Okay, so next, okay, so diagram not given, diagram not given. So you must be able to, means imagine, or you can draw to help you to guide to answer this question. Okay, a coil of 300 turns is wrapped round a solenoid. You see, the coil wrapped around the solenoid. Okay, this one is, we discussed already the situation just now. Okay, the length of the coil is, the length of the solenoid is 20 centimeter. Okay, total of 1,600 turns. The cross-sectional area of the solenoid is 1.8 times 10 to the power of -3 meters squared. And calculate the mutual inductance of the two coaxial coils. And then if the current in the solenoid changes at the rate of 30 ampere second, so what is the induced EMF in the coil? Okay, so do A question first, mutual inductance. Okay, can you remember or not the formula just now? So which situation? Okay, for form 6 level, very easy because you are given two situation only just now. So you can memorize, easier actually. Okay, what you get?
Yes, students, we are waiting.
Coil wrapped around the solenoid.
What's the first situation
Okay.
just now?
If the situation given solenoid and solenoid, what else? And coil and coil put further apart, not on top of another like this now, right? Inside the coil. So the mutual inductance you get will be different. So for your from 6 level, we just discuss for the two
Okay,
situations.
Ben has answered.
Okay, so 3.39 times 10 to the power of negative 3 Henry. Okay, so what about the rest of you? Maybe we
Yes,
can
correct.
still wait for a few more seconds. Okay, what your answer you are given? Okay, what you are given? So you can imagine like this. Okay, the coil wrapped on the solenoid. Okay, you are given NS. Okay, you label like this. It's easier to see which formula to be used. And you are given the NP. Okay, which one is secondary? Which one is the primary coil? Okay, then you are given the length of the solenoid and the area. So you can see here NNAL. So munal. Like last week lunar, right? Lunar. So this week munal. Okay, very easy to memorize actually. By making it into words, you can memorize it easily. Okay, so for M munal. So here the rate of current, rate of current. Okay, so the formula munal. So you substitute the M given, or M you are going to find M, mutual inductance. Mu naught is 4 pi times 10 to the power of negative 7. If your calculator, you should you use constant 33, constant 33 or 32 if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Sin you answered 5.43 M.
Milli Henry. Okay, let's check which one of you is the correct one. Okay, so NS is 300. N doesn't matter because we in the formula we got 2, right? So we can substitute the 2 inside here into here. So the cross-sectional area 1.8, and lastly the L, the length 20 centimeter. Don't forget to convert it to meter, to meter. Okay, so the answer is 5.43. Maybe careless mistake somewhere, right, Ben? Yeah, careless mistake somewhere. Okay, so the answer is 5.43 times 10 to the power of negative 3 Henry. Okay.
Good, Walamati.
Okay, that's why exercise very important, right? You can avoid reduce your careless mistake if you do exercise a lot. Okay, now we go to question B, the EMF induced. So what formula to be used? Okay, what about the EMF induced? What you get? You are given the rate of current flow. This means di by dt. Okay, and the mutual inductance given, you can combine this together. Okay, what formula you use? M di by dt, right? Okay, what's your answer? Okay, 0.16 volts. Okay, so let's check. The rest of you can write there also. Using the EMF induced equals to negative M di by dt. So the answer is 5.43 times 10 to the power of negative 3, here 30. So you get negative 0.163 volt. But the question asks for EMF induced. So you must not write the negative lah. If you say it as induced MF, don't write negative. Okay, don't write negative. Okay. So you are given in two significant figures here. So you may write in 2 or 3 significant figures. Better write 2 lah. Those who write 0.16, okay, good. 3 significant figures also can actually, can lah, allowed, it's allowed. But don't ever put the negative here if you write it as induced MF, because induced here means already negative opposite direction, the MF induced. Just like in Form 4, Form 5, acceleration and deceleration. Okay, remember acceleration and deceleration? So if you write deceleration, you don't write negative, right? It's similar to that situation. For induced MF, don't write negative. Okay? Okay, so we go to the next question. Okay, what about this one? 2 flat coils are arranged coaxially. Okay. You are given the coil P. P means the primary coil. Refer to where current given. Current given in the coil P. So what is the MF induced in coil Q when the current in coil P increases at a rate of 0.67 ampere second. So coil P has current flow through it. So that means coil P is the primary and inside here is the secondary. Okay. Okay, so what's your answer? Remember the formula, the last formula we derived from the previous slide. Okay, so what's your answer? Can write there in the chat box.
Yeah.
Primary coil. And this is secondary coil. The Q is the secondary coil. Remember, the B we use now is no more a formula for solenoid. We don't use B equals to mu naught Ni, but we use B equals to mu naught I per 2 R, right? 2 pi R, sorry. Mu naught I per 2 pi R, 2R only. Okay, so what's your answer? Forgot the formula already? EMF induced, we are going to determine the EMF induced. Okay, still no sign of answer there yet. Okay, give you
a few more minutes, second to answer.
Minutes too long,
Yeah, that's it, second to answer.
Okay, you are given DI by dt. Okay, now we got one answer from Young. Okay, Young. 1.59 times 10 to the power of negative 6 volt. Okay, so the formula, from E equals to negative M di by dt. This is EMF induced, but the problem is we don't know M. So we need to find M first. Okay, so to find M, you can use the formula just now. Mu naught NS and P pi R squared. The R is the RS per 2R. Okay, so you substitute the N. We have 120 and 20 turns. Okay. Okay, then the pi and the R. Be careful with this one, R. R is the RS. This is where students make mistakes, careless mistake. So the R here is R of the secondary coil. So it's 0.50 centimeter, convert to meter. Okay, convert to meter. Okay, be careful with this one. This is where students make mistake every year, careless mistake every year. And then the R from the below here is R from the primary coil, because the 2R here comes from the primary coil. Okay, so use convert 5 centimeter to meter, so you get 0.050 meter. Okay, so the answer for mutual inductance is 2.37 times 10 to the power of negative 6 Henry. Now you can substitute into the equation here. So your answer, okay, same as this answer. But don't write this negative because the question asks for EMF induced. So if you write EMF induced, so equals to the 1.59 times 10 to the power of negative 6 volt. Okay, not? If you write like this, I repeat again because this is common mistake students make every year. So you use formula got negative, but when you write down EMF induced, don't put negative. Okay. So next, question 6. Question 6.
Tilting.
Okay, tilting also get correct answer. Good. Okay, now let's try this question. This time, the coil is arranged at distance here. Not inside. Coil 2 not inside the coil 1. Okay, coil 2 is not inside coil 1, but they still in a coaxial. They still coaxial. Okay. Okay, so what is your answer? We read the question first. So figure show 2 coils. Coil 1 has 15 turns and carries current of 3 ampere. So this will be the primary coil because got current flow through it. Then coil 2 has 40 turns. Okay, so the self-induction of coil 1 is 42 millihenry. Okay, and the mutual inductance between the 2 coil is 24 millihenry. This one is mutual inductance. This is self-induction of coil. Self-inductance, typing error here. Not self-induction, but self-inductance, typing error. Okay, calculate the magnetic flux through coil 1 and calculate the magnetic flux through coil 2. And then calculate the induced Emf produced. Okay, what is the magnetic flux through coil 1? So what is the reason there given self-inductance? Not mutual inductance, self-inductance. So you need to use what we've learned in the previous discussion for self-inductance formula. Okay, so what you get? Okay, you list out first what is given. Label primary, label here secondary. So you are given N1, let's say N1 for primary because you're given coil 1, right? So this one is for primary, this one for secondary, N2, current, and then we have L. Okay, self-inductance is L, L1 because self-inductance means where the
MF Young has answered, Young.
Okay, Young, 8.4 times 10 to the power of negative 3 Weber. Okay, so from the self-inductance, from the mutual inductance, okay, we can calculate the magnetic flux through coil 1. Okay, let's check your answer for A. Okay, you use phi equals to Li. Okay, it's similar equation, right? Phi equals to Mi and phi equals to Li. So for self-inductance, L. So L, you must use this 42. Okay, so for coil 1 and phi equals to Li. So there are 50 turns. So you need to substitute 15 together. Okay, 42 millihenry convert to Henry. Current is 3 ampere. So the induced, the magnetic flux in coil 1 is 8.4 times 10 to the power negative 3 Weber. Okay, correct. Okay, so next B, magnetic flux through coil Q. What is the magnetic flux through coil Q? So this time we need to use mutual inductance. Cannot use self-inductance. Okay, so what you get? Okay, what you get? So you use same formula. Okay, same formula. Okay, for coil 2, you use same formula, but you don't use L, you use mutual inductance. Because here, the EMF is induced in the secondary coil. Okay, anyone got the answer already? Can write there?
Yeah. Okay, Young again.
Okay, so let's check. Very good. Okay, so the what number of turns now is 40. Okay, so M is 24. Use this one. convert to Henry. So you got magnetic flux 1.8 times 10 to the power of -3 Weber. Good. And then the last one is the current given 40 millisecond. So find the induced EMF. Okay. So induced EMF, we use dI by mdi by dt.
Okay.
So m is 24 millihenry. Okay. And I is where? There, 3 ampere. Okay. In 40 millisecond. Okay. Young also got 1.8. Okay. So
Okay,
very
well
good.
done, y'all.
Okay, good.
Very good, yeah. Very good.
Okay, so I think that's all for today. That's all for today. So I give back to moderator.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, we got grace. We have reached the end of today's lesson. Okay, we have reached the end of today's lesson. Okay, before I forget, the last digit, okay, for the code is digit 3. Okay, digit 3. So you have already the 4-digit code. Don't forget, okay, claim the prizes in store. Right. So thank you very much. Thank you so much, Madam Rosmaya, for preparing today's lesson. Okay, coming from a non-physics teacher, well, I understood, and by following you every week, I recall some of those induction, Faraday's law, Lenz's law, and so forth. Okay, and then not forgetting, congratulations to all the students who are able to follow our live class from the beginning till the end. Well done, students. Okay, there's about. Every week I see the same name, so I'm very happy to see the same name appearing every day in the chat box. Okay, again, students, let's thank Madam Rosmaya by clicking the subscribe button, okay, and activate the icon bell so that you will not miss the next live class. And please hit the like button, okay. When you hit the like button, I think Madam Rosmaya will be more motivated to produce excellent videos, okay, for all of you. All right. Okay, then the certificate link is already given in the chat box, okay, and the link to claim the credits also in the chat box. So the links are given as a token of thank you for your dedication in joining the free online class today. And if you feel the class was beneficial, so please share today's live class to your friends on your social media. Okay, spread and share the goodness. Please take note, the certificate link will end half an hour after the live class. Make sure to use the EDD email or the MOE deliver to log in. Okay, in the correct email will not be entertained. So if you wish to get more information on the online classes, go to www.academyyoutuber.com, and to those who haven't joined EDD Junior Telegram, please do so. Right, before we end, we'd like to hear a few words from our new face in the Conti, Teacher Noon. Okay, we welcome Teacher Noon. She's just managed to what do you call it, to graduate and come to Channel Challenge 4. Okay, Teacher Noon, please say a few words as a welcome.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Cikgu Zana, and well done everyone. I can see that all of you are very excited answering Madam Rosmaya's question, and of course you are concentrating the class. Well done and thank you. Bye.
So what Teacher Ayu? Do you like to say a few words, Teacher Ayu? Hafsa Ayu? Teacher Hafsa Ayu? Okay, I think her mic is, your mic, on the mic. Okay, the control host for today. Teacher Ayu would like to say a few words.
Okay, harap semua dapat teruskan dengan tuition AYU. Okay.
All right. So once again, I would like to thank all the wonderful students for joining today's class. Thank you for being an IU supporter. You all are awesome. Okay, so feel free to share this live class to your friends and teachers all over Malaysia, because this is a collective effort from all the teachers throughout Malaysia for all the students throughout the country. So don't forget to join our live class next week, same day, same time, Sunday, 5 p.m. So till we meet again, ingat hashtag Bermula percuma, selamanya percuma. Stay safe students and be safe. Okay, Assalamualaikum and bye-bye from all of us.
Wow, banyaknya hadiah menarik menanti anda.
Wah, kini Akademi YouTuber mengambil inisiatif baru di mana memberikan hadiah-hadiah ini secara percuma. Ya, percuma kepada anda semua. Bagaimana caranya? Dengan mengikuti kelas tuition online percuma Akademi YouTuber sambil mengutip mata kredit, anda dapat menukarkannya dengan hadiah-hadiah yang menarik ini. Tunggu apa lagi? Segalanya percuma.
Jangan lepaskan peluang tau. Dah dapat banyak hadiah menarik, takkan nak lepaskan peluang.
Layari www.academyyoutuber.com sekarang untuk maklumat lanjut.
Dibawakan kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber.